Hey everyone and welcome back to Venlo Zoo and welcome to a special episode. We are building a ethical dolphin lagoon, and hold on to your seats. I know you are already in the rage mode and you're ready to put down a comment about this, but hear me out. We are talking about this, why this is as ethical as it can be. We're going to talk about this during this build. I know there's a lot of, talk about this, discussion worthy things, but we'll touch upon that during the build. This video is going to be a bit different, but as always, we have a note from the sponsor of the channel. This is Instant Gaming. You can as always get discounts on your favorite games. Just check out the platform. You can, search for any game you want, or you can even go and check out if there is the currency you need, for example, for PS Network or Xbox, and you can get that for a discount as well. Just try it out, and the link is as always in the description. As always, you also have all the support you need and so on. But that's basically what I want to give away for you. Linkies as always you'll find there. But now let's get started with today's video and the landscaping. So as I said, it's gonna be a bit different, so I don't have the crazy speed build as always. We will sometimes only have like 2x speed to give me the chance to talk a bit about this. Now this build is something that has been developing for a while. Usually the first idea to build this area was a safari habitat, but then I changed my mind because I felt like I need something a bit more disruptive for this project. So I'm gonna start right away. We are building this lagoon inspired by the Nuremberg Tiergarten, which is one of 2 remaining zoos in Germany that still hold dolphins. That's Duisburg and Nuremberg. Both of them have dolphins, but it couldn't be more different because the one zoo in Duisburg is very, very questionable. They haven't really done anything about the habitat in ages. Has been a lot of talks going on that something will change, but they haven't really. While in Nuremberg there has been a completely overhaul of the whole lagoon in 2015, so that's almost like 9 years ago. But the thing is, and this is what I want to talk about, the whole lagoon is relatively spacious. It's also very nice looking. It does have a lot of very interesting things to look at, and the whole indoor section is paired with the whole aquarium. I don't do this because frankly I don't have the time at the moment. And this build has already taken up quite some time, but you can see how meticulously I'm going to build the lagoon over here, making sure we have a very nice depth of between 4 and 6 meters, and then also making sure it all looks nice. While we have done the landscaping, the lagoon now is going to feature somewhat of a concrete border here and there, but it will also feature a bit more of a natural section to the top left, as you will see in a bit. So the way I did the surrounding is as always, and if you want to do something like this, you'll do this exactly the way I do this over here. I use some grid pieces to have a very good piece in the center, and then I'm using some other concrete pieces to basically build around. While this is happening, now put down your notebooks or whatever, or start writing your comment, because now I'm going to talk about the ethical part in our build. Now, obviously, there is no way to build a fully ethical dolphin habitat in a zoo because they just don't belong in a zoo. And I know that, okay? So this is not even the point. And, I could make my life very easy and just say, you know what, that's the game. It's a game, I don't care. But that's not the point of the build. The point of the build is facing reality. And reality has it that there are still a lot of dolphins in the whole of Europe that have been completely bred in captivity. And as far as my knowledge goes, and as far as the documentaries and the news and all the science stuff I have read into, most of them you can't put back in the wild. It's just impossible. They wouldn't survive. They have been trained, they have been raised in a zoo, they know that they get the food there, and it's not even about the fact that they couldn't go for hunting or so, but it's more like they wouldn't fit in a social group. And as you know that, dolphins are very social animals, they would get into a group and would be getting fought by the wild dolphins. Dolphins may look cute and so on, but they are actually nasty animals. They kill for fun. They they smoke for fun. They get actually high. It's one of the few species known, apart from humans obviously, that actually get high because of just fun reasons. But they also kill because of fun reasons. And, as much as I love dolphins for the fact how they are, and I've been to swimming with dolphins in the open wild, and, I also read into dolphin therapy and stuff like that. But, one can actually mistake them for very cute animals that just are the best friends ever. But that's not the truth, okay? And so the reason why I'm building this is the idea behind this whole ethical project is to make sure that these animals across Europe that just can't get back into the wild can actually have a very, very nice life. And dolphins get quite old, so it's not like that they are only living for like 5 to 6 years, that it wouldn't be worth it. But yeah, so while I have built the concrete part previously, you can see now I did the same with 4 rocks. You know, the usual thing I do is basically I built myself a blueprint of rocks, as you can see here, just trying to fit them in nicely in position, just go in a bit more random rotation in here. And once I've done that, I basically copy this around, delete a couple pieces here and there to make it more natural looking, as you can see over here, just grabbing these pieces now. And as soon as I'm happy with the whole thing, I'm just like, you know, putting them all over and starting to delete single aspects out of here to make it look less repetitive. Though, to be fair, it looks relatively repetitive over here, but like with the usage of plants and stuff later on, you don't really notice that much. Now, let's get to the next point. Now, as I have explained why I think this is going to be an ethical thing, this zoo builds upon the story that we are taking over a city zoo that obviously hasn't really been that animal friendly and conservation friendly in the past, and now has to be turned into a very conservation friendly ADA complained zoo. So this is what we're doing, and we are utilizing one of the old centerpieces that has been in this area, and this is the giraffe house. Now, as I said, my first idea was to build a safari habitat, and my thought was that we are going to utilize the old elephant and old giraffe area of the zoo, of the city zoo, which obviously both of them would have been way too small to house these animals and would have created a brand new safari habitat that gives enough space to all of the animals. That was my initial idea, and that was also where I was already trying to get some very cool ideas for a giraffe house. And now I end up with the idea, why shall I just not take this idea and build a giraffe house? Also, this one is going to be a very cool centerpiece across our lake. So standing on the desert house on this side, looking across the zoo, you'll face this wonderful big gate. And I felt like this is a very cool idea to tie it into our storyline, okay? So this is the remainder of what has been here in the past, and they took this deliberately and turned that into the gate of the Dolphin Lagoon, where the dolphins can swim to the inside. Because of course, there will still be a, not show, but more like an educational purpose area where people will be educated in a certain training elements kind of show. And this is another thing that many people don't really know about these animals in zoos. So as I said before, it all bases on the fact that these animals are bred in captivity, they can't be released into the wild, and we want to give them the best life possible for the remainder of their life. You know, we want to prohibit breeding, because that would be actually stupid, because then it would never end, you know. But the fact is, the animals in captivity need certain things to do. You can't give them enough space and enough stuff to do to make sure that they do this upon themselves. So these training lessons and so on are actually, if done correctly and the animals are treated correctly, obviously, they are not necessarily bad. In fact, it's the opposite. This is needed to keep them busy, because these animals are very intelligent. They need to be kept also entertained from a brain position. You know, they need to be entertained for their minds, and these training sessions are exactly that. This is playful education, and this is what they need to, you know, thrive and have a good life, because otherwise they would go absolutely insane, always just swimming in circles in the lagoons. Now, what I didn't talk about is that I do have a public available area in here. You'll see that in the real-time part. I've got a publicly available area in this build, but there will be a huge lagoon in the backside, which is going to be the second next part of today's video. That is going to be housing them in, for example, the winter or any other time of the year. So this is, as you can see, the indoor section over here, also somewhat architecturally reminiscent of an old giraffe house. And then in the meantime, I needed to do some small fixes. I wanted to have some realism in here with some solar panels, because this would be very energy heavy, because of exactly what we're doing now, the aquatic stuff like the pumps and so on. And I put actually in the in-game stuff, which I think will do for the moment. I would have loved to do this myself and build some actually proper pumping and stuff, but as you know, this is very time consuming, and I will potentially, if things in my life are sorted out again, and we are back to a certain more, you know, I don't know, a bit more of a structured schedule, I should say, then I might do this. But for the moment, I'm very happy with how it is. I also figured that this corner of the habitat wasn't nice enough, so I changed the shape of it a little, as you can see, and went on to the winter dome, as I call it. By the way, in the background, you can see the city of Venlo. Thanks to Sylph again for providing me with all these crazy city elements from his Dutch city. That's so cool. So you can always see this for the backdrop. And I used these new pieces from the birthday anniversary pack, where actually, it wasn't a pack, it was a free update with these celebration pieces, because they look really cool. And I made this kind of triangular shape, which you can see by some of these domes, inflatable domes. I could have done this a bit differently, but yeah, I was for a brief moment looking for the scaling option, and then I figured I was in Planet Zoo, and that's not possible, so I needed to do this way, and I made sure to fill in the gap between those 4 elements, and then I started copying them over. As you can see over here in the background, you can now see clearly the city. I will later on make sure that the city is always visible, but I will use some tricks and put some forests in between so that we don't have a coherent city. It just means that from every angle in the zoo, when there is a spot through the builds or through the forest, you'll be able to see the city. But this dome, for example, is one of these elements that will act as a natural border and a visible border, like a border that just hides away what's behind. And also it fills in the purpose of this ethical build, because we will give the animals also a completely private space in the back. As you can see, this is the private lagoon for them, where they can swim over. We do have a proper connection that goes from the natural lagoons part in the publicly available area or visible area into this back area. And once I was ready with copying over these elements over here, I then went on to fully create the entire dome, because that dome obviously needs to become a central element of our ethical idea, because in the winter times, it's rather cold outside, and it's very energy heavy to keep all this water warm and, you know, making sure that it has the same temperature, because obviously this all isn't like easy salt water, but we are speaking about clear water here, and this, or fresh water I should say, and you know, that's something that definitely has to be considered while doing this. And the whole lagoon has to be considered to have the complete correct water and so on. So yeah, actually this is like actually a very big build in terms of energy management and all these kind of things. Might also that I'm mistaking freshwater for saltwater right now. I know that there are saltwater dolphins as well, but I've got the bottleneck dolphin. Is that freshwater dolphin? Gosh, at this, sometimes my brain is like, I just forget the easiest information. Anyways, but it is the suitable water for these animals, okay? And still needs the energy. And as you can see, also filling in the dome on the top with these, what's that, octagon-shaped kind of things? No, I can't count. These are the other ones with 6 corners, and I'm stupid because I forgot it. Is it like an... Oh, gosh. Whatever. Forget about this. I'm stupid. My brain is not braining at the moment. Also, you can see then I'm going on to the next part, which is the indoor section. You can see here is our seating area already. I used FreeBuild to make sure that the pathing actually goes there. And I didn't really do too much about this. I really made it as simple as possible, making sure that it looks nice and fulfills the purpose of it. But I will go back to my Dolphin Lagoon my Dolphin Rescue Bay I once started on the channel. I know it's been a very beloved project, but the whole project was based on the assumption that at some point we'll get aquatic animals in this game, which we never get, and so at some point it was needed to abandon this project. But there were a couple of things I may actually copy over into this area over here, because I built in this project a couple of very nice things for like dolphin lagoons and so on. So maybe I'm just gonna blankly steal that from myself. And yeah, as you can see, building a bit of a nice area here with a backstage element where the trainers and the staff members can go, and also just putting some barriers in, like fake barriers obviously, but like just making this tiniest bit of realism in this case. I know it's not much, but it's honest work, okay? At the moment I really have to make sure to use my time as best as possible. And you can see I'm really trying to build something very cool for this project that we don't really have in this way. And yeah, let me know in the comments how you like this, and if you've got any more facts about the dolphins or whatever that I need to know, obviously let me know. And if there's anything more I could do to make it more ethical in that point, I would really love to hear from you. But yeah, then it was always time for the final touches, as you can see, doing some terrain work here and there. And I may say, I'm just gonna use this little moment in time here to say that while I was building, a couple of things about Planet Coaster 2 appeared on my mind that surprised me. I've been very vocal about all the problems of Planet Coaster 2, and building a Planet Zoo was actually like a charm, but there are things that I'm really missing now that don't exist in this game, but they exist in Planet Coaster 2. First and foremost, it's the scenery brush. That thing is a must-have in the next game for the Planet. It's Planet series. It's so good. And also the fact that you can just double-click on all the areas to build on, like double-click on pathing to get the pathing, double-click on landscaping to get into landscaping. These seem like little things, but oh my god, these are way better quality of life updates than I've thought. So, you know, at any point in time, you also should say the positives, and seemingly there are some positives. And yeah, scaling obviously is a huge thing. I was missing scaling the whole time. But anyways, that should be it about the time-lapse, or this time not time-lapse, but actually the building process. It's now time to get our hooves and arms and whatever and jump into the real-time part to show you how the lagoon looks and behaves with actual dolphins in. Right, here we are in the real-time part, and as you can see, this is the area we are looking at. And just as I said before, it's all about the sidelines and playing the best way possible with the overall looks of it. So this is the huge area for the dolphins in here. On the left-hand side, you can see the back drop, which is the, as I said, the winter dome. It looks kind of weird from over here, to be honest. There's a bit of a difference here and there, but again, it's a backstage access asset, I should say. And down here you can see down in one of these alleys, I'm just gonna make sure that this one over here is becoming somewhat of a street, and then we put some more buildings here in the back, and it looks like a complete street from over here. Really cool stuff. Now going forward, you can see that we have this wonderful viewing area, the underwater viewing area over here. Look at that, there's some dolphins already doing some stuff, and people going to have a look in here. There's a dolphin actually out there. Yeah, they're still a bit buggy. They do actually jump out here and there, but yeah, it's a bit hard to do. You know, I know Leaf did fix some things about the dolphins for me when I was putting them into Zoo Sicily, but like, you know, they still have some weird things going on. But it's all very huge, it's all very big, but that was the idea about this, you know. Making this look properly nice is requiring a lot of space. Really like this little touch of the old giraffe habitat house, which wouldn't have looked that massive, because you have to imagine if you go up here, the giraffe house, look at the dolphin there you go. As long as they're just like gliding in the water like that, they actually look super nice. You know, it starts to look a bit wonky as soon they start doing some real stuff. I mean, this is still okay, you know, they're looking a bit stiff here and there, but yeah, for the moment, that's all we can have, and it's all good. But back to my point, like, if this is giraffe house, you have to imagine that this is then the ground level, and from the ground level to see certain things, this house wouldn't have been so crazily massive. I mean, still very massive, but imagine this being a lot smaller, having the gates in front, and then it just kind of makes sense that this would be this way. So yeah, I did change a couple of things to the inside, so let's just run around. Oh my god, there's some blueprints lying around here I have used. Don't mind them hanging over here. You don't see anything, okay? There was the city in the background, really like that. Also, I'm a big fan of how stable the game still is. Really damn good. There's a dolphin coming our way. Hello, my friend. Is this part of the show? Are you part of the show? Hold on for a sec. Hello? Can I click on you? There you go. What are you doing? I'm gonna move you back inside. Come with me. Come with me. I'm gonna move you back in. So you're gonna go all the way back here. See you there. Right, but now as we are already in, you can see there's a bit of a problem here with the pathing here and there, but it is okay. You know, people can get up there. It's a bit wonky here and there, but it's all good, all fine. Look, is that where the dolphins just jump over? Is that the issue? I've never seen that. People still going in. There are a couple of things I need to fix in here, but also if we just move up the stairs over here to have a seating, look at that. I am quite a big whoopala. That is this is not what I wanted to do. I am a big fan of how this is looking, guys. I'm a really big fan of that. Look, we have our dolphins swimming in here. They eventually come here. We have this backdrop. We have a very cool ceiling now. I took them from my aquatic house I built years ago, I should say. And you have this wonderful vista into the zoo once you look through the gate. There are some ball racks I've got from my aquatic project. Same goes with these kind of fish. I thought these were like big fish jars or something where the fish would be stored in. But yeah, I'm super happy. Look, this is the best we can do, but oh my god, wouldn't it be nice to have that actually in game? I'm a really big fan. I can't say how amazed I am by this. It's just like, we can also just quickly, let's have a look if we can zoom out a little to make this, look at that. This is really cool. This is really giving us the inside view here of our dolphin area, but we can also do some other shenanigans with this later. Anyhow, back to the game. I want to quickly fly over the whole area to give you an idea what this all is looking like right now. So let's fly all the way up. This is the whole lagoon, and back to our point of being ethical, you can see how much space they technically have. Like, this is the size of a dolphin, and they swim around in here. Also, by the way, we can, while we're at it, just like, let's just select those and get rid of them. There you go. They also received some corals down here on the ground, just for like fake ones. This looks kind of nice, a bit more natural. They are also from my aquatic project. I think initially I had them in my Australia region for the Great Barrier Reef habitat. But anyway, so this is how that looks, and then we've got the big dome, and we've got a side area where they can swim. So it's a massive footprint, and this is where they have the gate to swim over. You know, this is paired on both sides actually, while the inside doesn't look any good, but you know, whatever. So this is the Dolphin Bay, or like the Dolphin Lagoon, and what I was talking about is this vista over here. I mean, look at that. You're here, the camels having a little sleep. But look how much of a shape the zoo is taking now. It really looks fantastic. I mean, just look at this view over here. And if we're doing it this way, oh, that looks so cool. That looks so freaking fantastic. And the same goes if you're like over here and you go to the side. You've got this view over here. Oh my god. You've got this view over here, overlooking this lake, and then you've got on the other side the old giraffe house, which now is the dolphin area. I'm really happy with how that all turned out. I really need to pay attention now to the other side, so that the zoo is merging together nicely on this side and then building a bit to the sides. But you can see the city is appearing on this hand side now, so it's not going to be that massive of a zoo. So we are going to kind of fill in all the side here and all this side, and that's basically it. A lot is about the backdrop, you know, the highway connecting everything, the parking lots and all these kind of things. But I'm very happy with how this is all shaping together. Also, thank you to all the new members. I didn't find the time to include all of you, but props to you guys. You'll be in here the next time, or you'll be in the next episode of the Hanseatic Dreamland. For those of you who don't know, all the people who become member on the channel will appear in either Venlo Zoo. You can see there is all across the zoo. We have some signature plates or anything like that. So for example, these signs over here of people. The same goes for some of these things. Like everywhere, your names will appear. And in our Hanseatic Dreamland, you guys become the shipping containers. And oh boy, Sylph's building still looks so fantastic. But yeah, never mind. This is that, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Make sure to engage in the comments. Make sure to like the video if you'd like it, and also make sure to follow on the channel if you fancy doing so. There is more like that coming, and hopefully you took the idea, you liked the idea of this ethical dolphin habitat, or this ethical dolphin lagoon exhibit, however you want to call that. I certainly think this is the best you can do for these wonderful animals within, you know, the boundaries of modern zoos, I guess, and the situation of these animals. So hopefully you got this take, and well, if not, you don't have to agree. This is a topic where potentially not everyone will agree anyway, so I guess it is what it is. But I just wanted to try to give you a reasoning behind why I'm doing this and why I think this would be a wonderful approach of a zoo like Venlo Zoo that is so much looking into conservation and the ethical side of things. So thank you so much for watching, and I talk to you in the next one.